good time zone artifacts, and a happy birthday to all of those around the world. We have a boss fight today. I don't know who it's gonna be, what it's gonna be. At first I was like, what if we fight Yar? But then I was like, no, the enemies are all Victorian soldiers, so that doesn't really make sense. And I was like, I guess we could fight the Trilby Asher, but would they make a boss form of the Trilby Asher? We already fought normal Trilby Asher, so that doesn't necessarily make sense either. We'll find out. Then we'll get a playable one? A playable Trilby Asher? Never. They don't have faces. Maybe if they had a face. Bam. I will say though, when will we get more anthropomorphic characters? Because we haven't had one since Lee. That was a long time ago. No update on any characters. So we're just gonna get into it. Last time on the rides to Lake Silberneherze, Leto makes her way atop the mountain, where we get a brief cameo with Zofia and Maria, which was surprising. But ultimately insignificant. Leto makes her way up the mountain to deliver the object that her mother had given her. Along the way, she encounters the Trilby Asher, and they travel together for a little bit, but then she pulls a quick one on him and reveals that she knew that he was like a spy and was up to no good, and so she starts questioning him. But then both Arktos and Degenbrecher show up. Arktos thinks that Trilby Asher is trying to harm Leto. But not really. He wasn't really. And then something happens that I honestly am not really sure if they actually explain how it happened, but Leto and Arktos then fall off a cliff, I'm pretty sure. And then Degenbrecher chases the Trilby Asher down the mountain. Now alone, Arktos reveals that he is Leto's father. Talks about how he met Leto's mother, Tatiana. hopes to be, you know, a father now to Leto, but Leto's like, no, F you. Give me child support. And also reveals that her mother's still alive. Her mother did not actually die in Chernobog. She was not delivering her mother's ashes. She was actually saying the wrong word in Yerig language. Her mother, I guess, yeah, I think her mother got infected during Chernobog and is being treated by Rhodes Island, I'm pretty sure, yeah. And then Leto pushes Arctos off another cliff. Meanwhile, Degenbrecher chases the Trilbiasher down the mountain, through the town, across the lake while ice skating, on top of the Yeragander statue. Yera happily watches as they damage the statue and end up making some improvements to it, in her opinion. The Trilbiasher then gets away, revealing that he knows that there's something going on underneath the statue. And Degenbrecher decides to just let him go because she knows that he will have to come back to the statue, so she's just going to wait around for him to do that. While away, he then gathers some more data on what the Carlin Trade's doing, and then goes to Harold and tells him, hey, it's time. There's something under the statue. They're not going to let the Duke of Castor collect their debt. It's time to do what you're here to do. Trilbiasher goes back to the statue, but is intercepted by Yar's little drone thing, that then teleports him away from the statue. And Harold goes to the bonfire banquet, gets drunk, is definitely sad, and probably doesn't want to do what he's going to do, but he still is going through with it. He returns to his camp and tells his soldiers to ready their weapons, to switch to live ammunition. They're going to, I guess, storm the statue, but overall it is... They are invading in the name of Victoria. And that's where we left off. Terminal velocity. I am of Yerig. Face me. Well, that does sound kind of like we are fighting Yera, but that doesn't really make sense at the same time. They say Lake Silberneherze is most beautiful during winter. Winter seals the lake in a case of ice, and from afar it looks for all the world like a great gemstone, revealing a most breathtaking beauty in the brilliant sunlight. But if you were to observe from up close, perhaps you would be able to appreciate its beauty even further. There is no gem so flawless, yet so adamant. Beneath the ice, its waters yet flow. Since when did you decide to take up poetry? According to the directives of the Vine Bear Court, we will follow behind the Saintess, walking from the ice to below the feet of the statue of Yaragander. This is hardly what I would call a short stroll, and all sorts of mishaps can befall us while we walk. Gnosis, are you worried that the ice beneath your feet might shatter? How very unlike you. You know that's not what I'm talking about. Many of the guests of ours who are here to attend will be watching us with keen eyes. Your plans for defensive maneuvers still lack accurate information, Ensuities. We are not in what we would call a favorable position. Allowing the Trilby Asher to approach the statue of Yaragander yesterday was my mistake. If we have the need of it, I can go and settle things with him right now. If our quarry has already sensed aught amiss, then acting now would already be too late. This is a terrible habit of yours, neglecting the bigger picture when you take action. Forget it. You and Ensuities are pretty much the same. I'm not asking either of you to change your ways. All I ask is that next time, please go to the trouble of restraining yourselves, just for a little bit. You'll save me from having to rack my brain to find ways to clean up your messes. Duly noted, Gnosis. What do you think, Ensuities? I have not the strength to casually cut apart a giant statue tens of meters high. Indeed. You merely invited that doctor over, who then proceeded to nearly ruin our plans is all. Yeah. I have no desire to listen to the two of you jibe and snipe at each other with your nonsense. Now that the Shegatea responsible are keeping order, they will be posted to the island ahead of time. As for who is in charge of the reception for the Victorians, there are several merchants who will take care of the matter. Gnosis, you are far too tense. We have already completed all the preparations we can do. All we can do now is wait. And wait we shall. Spring is just around the corner. I still remember when the Saintess descended from atop Mount Garland 3 years ago. That day, Yaragander sent her blessings, and even that Ensuities couldn't help but kneel. I do not know if we will ever see such miracles again these days. Seems like seeing the sights of today has you hooked up your old memories, my friend. But Arktoes, don't you think you've been wallowing in those memories too often these past few years? Rather than putting your efforts into sarcasm, Ratatos, you should care more about today's ceremony. I felt that something was off ever since I woke up this morning. Don't you think Yaragander's statue looks a little different compared to yesterday?
You brown-tails were in charge of managing construction, so you better think up a real good explanation for the Saintus.
No need to worry about that. Hey, Arctos, why does your face look like that? Did that Silberneherze rough you up or something?
Well, it's like you said. No need to worry about it. That girl's real feisty, just like Tatiana, just like me. Not bad.
Patriarch, Matriarch, everything is present. Good. Let the people know how they can, that they can head to their designated positions and wait for now. The Saintus will arrive soon. If anyone dares tarnish the Browntail name at this critical moment, I won't be showing any mercy. Understood, Matriarch. Wait a moment, Yucatan. Why is it just you? Where's your wife? It's almost time already. Why is she not here? Russ told me this morning that she had a few things to do. She wants to prepare a pleasant surprise for you, Matriarch. I'm not sure if I should be looking forward to a pleasant surprise from her. What could possibly be more important than today's ceremony? Can't she pick a better time to give me a headache? I'll send her a message right away. Don't worry, Matriarch. Russ is very clear on what she should be prioritizing. I should have figured that you'd be on your wife's side. Alright. She's no longer a girl. I guess I'll just have to wait and see what this pleasant surprise of hers is. Anyway, if she's off doing things, why didn't she bring you along? Russ already has someone helping her out. Everyone, the time has come. The Saintus arrives. Please lend me your ears. It has been 3 years since the Vinebear Court has recognized those foreigners who wish to devote themselves to Yarrigander. Yarrick today is capable of incredible growth and development, but that growth rests on the shoulders of the good folk here. Alongside the toil and devotion of all of Yarrick's people, I believe that all of you have seen the change that has come to Yarrick these past few years with your own eyes. Yarrigander has given her people, her children, a challenge, and we have already given her our answer. Yet these past 3 years are merely the beginning. In the coming days, we will meet with more complex situations than ever before, and Yarrick will see its fair share of trials and tribulations. However, I hope that we all believe that Yarrigander will not abandon this land of Yarrick, and neither will she abandon the lives of those who live upon it, for she so loves her people. This great statue of Yarrigander will be the main symbol of Yarrick to the outside world. At the same time, it will become a vessel for all the love that her faithful show her. Therefore, we need not climb Mount Carlin to make one's devotion to her. You need but face towards her during your prayers. It is my wish that the faith you have in her is not constrained by the trappings of ceremony. I believe that true faith has taken root in the hearts of all Yarrick's people. Now I ask of you to walk with me under the gaze of Yarrigander toward the foot of her holy statue, where we will pray for her to bestow her blessings upon Yarrick. By Yarrigander. By Yarrigander.
By Yarrigander.
The many voices by the lake that cry out Yarrigander's name blend and merge together. The Saintus stands at the head of the crowd and takes the first step onto the ice. The frozen lake Silberneherze shines like a flawless gem when looked upon from afar. But only once you stand atop it will you see that the gem is covered in chips and cracks. The ice is covered in cracks, winding and weaving across the surface. the endlessly churning waters beneath the ice surging about together. Under the dawn light, it is as if the soul of the lake itself was wandering about in an eternal cycle. In the eyes of the people of Yerrig, such a sight was so beautiful as to be breathtaking. Is it safe to walk on this ice? The Argander's Saintess steps across the cracks that seemed like they were carved by the biting winds, as if walking past a millennium's worth of Yerrig's bitterly cold hardships, as if walking past its endless winter days. Because now spring was just around the corner. How the hell are they not ready yet? Are you kidding me? The communicator doesn't work. Didn't they say they'd be getting to Yerrig last night? So they definitely catch the train today? Calm down, Sierras, calm down. Okay, I've calmed down. The Saintess needs to walk across the ice to the island, so the ceremony won't be starting quite so soon. I still got time. Think about the look on Rattatus's face when this is all over. I've definitely got the time right. The punctuality is par for the course on that side. A little lateness is one thing. We won't be too late now, I'm sure. I think the train to Lake Silberneherze should be pulling into the station right around now. Alright, let me see. The next train is arriving at... Why is it so late? Pretty sure the lake, or the ice, is multiple meters thick. I hope so. I mean... There's so many cracks in it, apparently. And 2 holes in it from yesterday. Oh, Madam Cirrus, that train is a local that stops at every station. It's natural that it's somewhat delayed. I don't care if it's natural. I need that train here right now. Damn it all. I can't just sit here and wait. Get me in touch with the station master. I want the train sped up right away. If it doesn't need to stop, then it better not stop. Make sure it goes full speed too. But madam, if we do that, it would be greatly inconvenience the passengers aboard the train. As long as they end up where they wanted to go, it should be fine, right? Yes, but... No buts. Monk! There she is. Wondering if she was going to show up. Yes, madam. Get in touch with the manager of Bang Bang Burdenbeast for me. Get them to round up every single one of their free burdenbeasts right now. Anyone waiting to get on the train at the stations that it passes, get them a burdenbeast to take them wherever they want. Actually, let's see, is it Monch or Monk? I wonder. Don't know, I guess it's German, so I'm gonna go with German. And it's Monk. Okay. I was right. Quite surprised she wasn't a new operator. Yeah, actually. Although... there's no, She does not have a monitor, so it was not planned, so maybe she never will be. Although, to be fair, Degenbecker doesn't have a monitor either, so it's not a guaranteed sign that someone will be an operator. Brown tails first. None of them fight. Except for Yucatan, I guess. He's got a sword, but... Yes, madam. Madam Sirius, is this really alright? You got a problem with it? Right, thanks for reminding me. We'll need to prepare a small gift for everyone already aboard the train. We'll call it a token of apology for disturbing their journey. Use a souvenir that you sell on the trains for that. All expenses can go to Clan Browntail. No wait, put it on my personal account. Understood. It shall be done. I guess she works for Browntails now. Was she always with the Browntails? She was with Gnosis, but was she like a Browntail trader originally? I don't remember. I hope that's enough. No, it's definitely enough. For sure. Faster.
Don't forget what we're here to do. In the back, keep pace.
Yes, sir.
Halt, gather up. Form up.
Sir, reporting in. Second squad information, sir.
Very good, then. And third squad? Sir, reporting in. Third squad information, sir. Very good. Jack, have your squad bring up the rear. I want constant vigilance. Don't overlook a single enemy.
Yes, sir.
Good. Keep those spirits up. All squads, march forward.
Ah, yes, sir. What are those Victorians up to now? Are they holding weapons? Surely not. Aren't they here to attend a ceremony or something? Have you ever seen them line up in formation like that before? It must be all just for show. But I've got to say, I don't think they've got the same look to them as they did before. By Yarrigander. Yarrigander, protect us from harm. That one soldier's not gonna get his sweetheart, that's for sure.
Reporting in, sir. We finished scouting ahead. The Sanctus has already started leading everyone over to the island. Are the men all prepared? Yes, sir. All troops in formation, ready to commence operations at any time. Good. Keep them lined up and wait for my orders. Lake Silberneherze on a winter's day. Truly one of Yarg's most beautiful sights. Who would have thought that the next time I clapped my eyes on this wonder would be under the circumstances like this? You've become much gloomier these days, Harold. Have I? You know what they say, soft days make a soft man. Lisbon, after a whole month of R&R, are you still able to swing your sword around? It's much heavier than I remember. How about you, Charles?
Oh, it's a battlefield. We're Victorian soldiers. Not much else I can do.
You're right. In the decades since I joined the army, never have I met a finer soldiers than all of you. Am I right, Charles?
I think I'm gonna puke. What else can I do? Given the orders already, or give the order already, Harold.
Forgive me, my friends. All right, orders incoming. Everyone forward march. Under the guise of building a statue of their goddess, The Yerrigs have been secretly transporting military goods under our noses. We will let them know the price of trying to make a fool of Victoria. Mission objective: destroy the statue of Yarragander atop the mountain.
Yes, sir. What? The train won't be making any further stops. Are you sure of this? Okay, understood. Hey, what's going on? Why didn't we stop at that station just now? I'm truly incredibly sorry. Ladies and gentlemen, our train has run into a small operational issue. Until we arrive at the station at Lake Silberneherze, the train will be increasing speed and will not be stopping at intervening stations. Not stopping? That's unacceptable. I meant to get off for sightseeing at the next station. Me too. I was going to visit the local markets too. Why ever can't you stop the train anyway? We offer our deepest apologies for the inconvenience to everyone. As compensation, we have prepared for all our passengers a gift as a token of our apology. All passengers may freely pick a souvenir of your choice from our store aboard the station, or aboard the train rather. Whether it's a specialty cheese or a burdenbeast blind box, it's all free of charge. Oh well, if there's compensation, I suppose that's all right. That's right. I ask all passengers to note that there is a limited amount of gift-wrapped mountain ice water, so if you would like some, please come as soon as possible. All right. No need to go on any more than that. Okay, sure. Speed up the train. No stopping at the stations. Whatever. Just give me one of those super expensive limited edition waters already. Hey, no cutting in line. Give me a water too. Wow, people love water. How is he on the train? What? Things sure are lively today. What could possibly be so urgent as to rush this train to Lake Silberneherze? Is it to deliver some mystery goods or perhaps people? Either way, I believe I win this hand. How did he get on the train? I guess he walked to a different station at some point? You don't think monk is a real word? Well, it came up on my pronunciation site as a German word, so I didn't look up what it meant, but I mean, maybe it does mean squirrel eating, but in German, I don't know. But it did pop up. I'm sure Victoria invented teleportation. I'm not sure about that one. Teleporting's not very Steam technology. Although accordingly, monk is literally just monk, as in, you know, the English word monk as well. Okay. I guess so. The trains have all been handled, madam. As per your orders, the premier train next arriving at Lake Silberneherze is now running at top speed. Are you sure that the guests you invited aboard... Are you sure that the guests you invited are aboard that train? Of course I'm sure. It's just that if we happen to be wrong... No way. Though they're definitely on that train. Monk, I must ask, do you know how many new relay stations we've built to ensure a smooth signal across all of Yerrig these past 3 years? I'm afraid I'm not quite sure. Well, you're just returned to Yereg, so I suppose it's natural for you to not know. Oh, interesting. I wonder where she went. So listen up and remember this. In Brown Tear territory alone, we've built 5 of those top-of-the-line relay stations to ensure that the signal never breaks. That many? Yep. So we also called in some professionals courtesy of that doctor from Rhodes Island to help out. So to make sure that even amongst our many mountains, our communicators will never be blocked. So what I'm trying to say is that theoretically, as long as it's within Yereg's borders, there shouldn't be any sort of communications mishap. Aside from special places. Special places? You can't figure it out there. Could it possibly be the private trains on the, or private rooms on the train, madam? Oh no, I shouldn't have said that. Bullseye. It's the private rooms on the train, more specifically the private rooms on the premier train from the foot of Mount Carlin to Lake Silberneherze. That train was a special order from Victoria. Okay, Victoria does have trains. As for the other trains that we have, they use that train as a prototype to copy, to study how to manufacture our own. The walls of the private rooms of that original train are inlaid with materials designed to isolate the occupants from disturbances from the outside, so naturally, they will cut off communication signals too. The other trains don't have this feature because it would have drastically inflated construction costs. I get it now. So what you're saying is, in determining if our guests are in Yereg already, the very fact that your communicator can't reach them tells us that they must be in that specific train's private rooms. That's amazing, madam. I'm learning so much about trains as well. Anyway. Yereg as it is now, and Yereg as of a few years ago, can it be more different? I'm not going to ask where you've been these past 2 years, Monk. And I don't intend to pry into what you've been up to then. I don't even really care about why you didn't go back to that Gnosis either. But if you really want to be my assistant, then you better get used to the modern-day Yereg already. So she left, came back, and decided to be Sirius's assistant specifically, and did not go back to Gnosis, so all those Gnosis monk shippers, they're dead. She sounds too bored. She looks bored. And you better not think that I'm still the same old Russ from 3 years ago. You hear me? Yes, madam. I'll do my best. Glad to hear it. Why is there so many people outside? Hey, wait, aren't they... Get back! I said get back, all of you! Not a step closer! You, what the hell do you think you're doing? How dare you try and pull this stunt under Yergander's gaze? Don't even think about ruining today's ceremony. Jack? Well, that's you, ain't it, Jack? What are you playing at? You just had a bit too much to drink, right? A word of advice from me, today's not the time to make a ruckus. Go tell the others quick, Jack. Oh, enough! I'm under the orders to shoot dead the next person who steps forward. Alright, that's kind of intense, Victoria. You know, back when you first showed up, people said that a bunch of foreign soldiers showing up in Yereg couldn't be any good.
I didn't believe him. I even spoke up for you guys. Seems that I was blind this entire time, so this was your real purpose, to ruin our ceremony for Yeragander? Strike us down? Yeragander will not forgive you for this. You invite her wrath upon yourselves.
Ah, let her try. We were punished enough as is, a long time ago. Yeah, I would hope Yar would unleash her might to protect the country. That'd be pretty cool. Although it would play their hand, right? Then everyone would know, like, oh, there's a fair in mud or something in the country. Like, so maybe she shouldn't do that, except for like a really last resort. Time to invade Victoria again.
Those are Victorian soldiers. Something's not right. They have their uniforms on and they've got their weapons out too. It looks like there's been some sort of commotion outside. Please hide yourself, madam.
The black-haired girl is about to subconsciously hold out her arm to protect her employer, but before the words can even leave her mouth, Cirrus proves to be a step ahead of her, covering her mouth with her own hand and pulling her into a corner.
Shush. Don't say a word, monk. We need to stay hidden. These Victorians, didn't they say they were just here to attend a ceremony? Huh, I guess they finally showed their true colors. This operation of theirs seems pretty big. That bitch Ratados wouldn't know about this trouble yet, would she? Madam, we have a whole squad of Shigete stationed here alongside Degenbrecker from Carlin Trade. If trouble reaches them, it probably won't last very long. Yeah, you're probably right. And with Yucatan there, my sister will be safe. Madam, allow me to escort you somewhere safe. I'll go assist Sir Yucatan next. No, I have to stay here and watch them. If things get even more heated here, at least I can stop them for a bit. Look, don't worry, nothing's going to happen to me, even if I did get found out, considering that I'm an envoy between Yerrig and Victoria for multiple cooperative business ventures. I doubt they'll have the stones to mess with me.
Never trust a soldier who's been given kill orders.
Madam, don't look at me like that. I already told you. I'm not the same as I was 3 years ago. Okay, listen up, monk. I've got something I need you to do. Yes, madam. You'll need only say the word. That Ensuides definitely has some sort of contingency plan up his sleeve for those Victorians. Considering how big this commotion's grown, I can only suspect that something's gone wrong with the deployment of his men. Monk, I need you to investigate things for me. Go check up on what's happening over there, and if you get the chance, make sure the Silver Ashes owe the Brown Tails a favor. It would be pretty nice. Understood. I'll get it done. What? Something on my face? Madam, you really have grown. Who asked you? You're a lot younger than me, you know. Stop acting like you're the big sister. Really, you should be treating me like the big sister. Can I really call you sister? Well, we'll discuss this later. Alright, get moving already. Yes, madam.
From time to time, Degenbrecker thinks back to 10 years ago. Back then, every winter she would accompany Ensuides all across Yerrig. That young man who had just returned to his home country was not yet the deeply experienced person he was now. Still quite underripe, he had to do many things himself, rushing about to and fro. One could say that he was hot-blooded, or one could say that he had ambition. Degenbrecher remembered that in the winter of that year, Enceodes brought all his plans and stratagems that he had devised in Victoria back to Yerrig, where he single-handedly founded Carlin Trade. Of the few people who could be called his confidants, she would have just barely been within their number. And thus, she found herself staying in this cold, snowy land. If you were to ask her, while she has long gotten used to the bitter chill, she does not actually like cold weather very much. Kazimiersz's winters were cold indeed. Those days, she would make her way through the many matches of the majors in winter. This made the CGCC very unhappy, but whether or not her opponent was happy was never in her mind. Going even further back, Laetonian's winters too were cold. Was Yerrig's winter not colder than Kazimierz or Laetonian's? Degenbrecher stamped her foot upon the ice's surface, frost crystals breaking loose under her step.
Thinking back to old times. I remember that year when we had just arrived back in Yerrig from Victoria. We had crossed Lake Silberneherze as well. Back then, it was because all the roads had been snowed out, with no railroads or mechanized shovels or vehicles specially designed to handle snow. We were barely able to maintain a handful of flat main streets. Under such heavy snowfalls, and with Carlin Trade only barely having started up, goods piled up behind snowbanks blocking the road, and the trade routes stagnated. We were on the brink of coming to a complete stop. In the end, it was you who helped Leons gather up his burden beasts, and by using them to carry goods across Lake Silberneherze, were able to alleviate that particular crisis. You talk too much, Enceodes. I assumed that you would have shown more solemnity in the light of the ceremony, not take this as an opportunity to babble about old happenings. My apologies. Some things are simply too unexpected in the moment, and so it is hard not to constantly bring them back to the forefront of one's mind, especially during interesting times such as these. Who would have expected the great Black Knight to be so proficient at riding a burden beast? Enceodes. What is it? If you are curious as to why I know how to ride a burden beast, then you need only ask. I learnt it when I was young. In Laetonian. It was there. If there is ever the opportunity, I could bring the both of you to do some sightseeing. It's not a very exciting place, so don't expect too much.
What year is it? 1100? Things are kind of exciting right now.
How is it compared to Yerrig? It's not as good. Yerrig is nowhere near as cold. This is the first time I've ever heard you give such an idealistic assessment. That's enough out of you. All right, we've arrived. Everyone, please come forward. With Yerrigander as our witness, this ceremony shall begin soon.
Let us pray. It appears that some of our more excitable guests can't wait for their cue.
Just who is causing that clamor there?
I didn't need this pain in my ass right now. Yucatan, why the hell isn't your wife here yet?
I just got in contact with her. She says she's nearly here.
What do you mean nearly here? Listen, you go get in touch with her right now and tell her to go to the moons or something as far away as possible. Just don't come over.
What is going on over here? What's all this commotion about? Oh, sir, those Victorians don't look as friendly as they usually do. I saw that they've got some pretty big weapons of some kind, and they looked real enough to me. I knew they were going to stab us in the back. Let them come. It's a good thing I told the Pelrosh boys to be prepared for this. We'll meet them in battle.
Halt, Sir Arctos.
But scientists!
Scientists, sir, and CODs. The Victorian troops have broken through our guards. We're maintaining order. They draw near.
Send out several squads, and prioritize the safety of any commoners about.
Yes, scientists. I guess she's got authority over the Shigate.
They have made their move. It appears if they have several squads of their own lined up to approach us, and that their head is that Viscount. What's the plan?
Where are Weiss and Matterhorn?
I haven't received any news from them since last night. They should have been watching the movements of the Victorian army very closely, and the operation of this size should have prompted a report by now, unless they had no way of sending the report.
Beware Victorians, even as they bear gifts. Despite my belief that they had managed to establish a strong enough relation with the Viscount Craigavon, it appears that we have not been able to move his heart from its course.
This is no time to be standing around licking your wounds and CODs. They've already far past the point of pretending to be friendly with us.
They are professional Victorian soldiers, whether using drone arrays to bombard us or hiding their casters in the crowds. Their ruthless efficiency is clear. Or efficacy, same difference. This is still what they consider pressure. They are not yet begun to use force just yet.
And I assume that you have some sort of plan for this.
We cannot allow them to disrupt the ceremony. Not only will the Vinebear Court and the three clans suffer a drastic blow to their reputations, they will lose the trust of the people of Yurig, alongside the respect of those outside its borders. We would be caught in truly dire straits.
Not exactly the easiest task.
Indeed.
You sound concerned, Insuides.
We must not allow a true war with Victoria to begin. We need only wait until the next distinguished guest arrives. But at the very least, we cannot allow them to get any closer to the statue of Urigander.
But they're pretty much here already.
I'll go stop them.
Now's not a good time for jokes. They've got at least 2,000 soldiers out there. How exactly are you going to fight them alone? It will be easier than me having to handle you after a night out, Gnosis. Like I said, this isn't a time to joke around. Who do you think, out of all the people that he knows and CODs always calls first? You're going to get yourself killed. If you don't want me to be killed, then you should have put in some more work, Gnosis. Dagenbreaker, I'm sure you're already aware of the tasks at hand. I'll need you to hold them back, at least until we've settled our arrangements here. At this time, Carlin Trade, no, Yerrig cannot assist you in the slightest. This is to be the sole work of the Black Knight. Are you able to do it? This wouldn't be the first time. You all wait here. It's no good to hold your anger in, Gnosis. The two of you have already talked it over. I'm not one to make a fuss. At least until Dagenbreaker holds back those Victorians. I can send out men to find Weiss and Matterhorn, as well as our distinguished guests. If they arrive a bit sooner than expected, things might start looking up for us. I will leave that to you then. News of what is happening here will spread fast. I should brace myself right now, so that I can deal with these beasts who see fit to bare their fangs. Hark, they come.
Halt! Everyone gather up. Get back into formation.
Yes, sir.
This fog's mighty thick. Strange. Have the Shaygate not made their move yet? Why are they just watching from all around the sides? Sure, our operation might have caught them with their pants down, but surely they're going to put up some resistance, right? Don't be so quick to dismiss them. The head of the Silver Ash clan's one wily fellow. Yerrick can't afford to go to war with Victoria, but us, we can pretty much take a crap atop their holiest of holies. It's a real funny thing, diplomacy. The way they are now, I don't think they've got any room to play defense at the moment. Well, you won't know until you give them a poke. Let some of our men advance for now. If the Saintus and Clan Silver Ash still don't react, then we continue with our original plan and prepare to bombard the statue of Yerragander.
Understood. Huh? Wait, it looks like there's movement on their side. No, that can't be. They've only got one person over there.
It's her, of course, the Black Knight. It could only be her. Alright, although I had my guess.
Okay, I was adding more words.
Although I had guessed that this sort of thing might happen, seeing the real deal with your own eyes, it's enough to make a man's heart drum with excitement. A lone woman holding back 1,000 soldiers? Wow, this really is right out of those night novels.
You're joking. There's no way one person who's got the strength to resist a whole army. The Jadens can't. The Silverlands Pegasus can't. Not even one of the Devil's Royal Courts could.
What is a Jaden? Jadens are an organization in the world of Arknights. They are minor antagonists in the fire within the sand, which is the first theme of reclamation algorithm. Yeah, they're from Sargon. The Jadens are an elite imperial force of the Sargonian royal court, who are directly under the command of the King of Kings of Sargon. The members are consisted of honorable warriors, whether alive or dead, whose skills are valued by the King of Kings, and every year the local padishahs will bring these elite warriors as royal tributes to the King of Kings, who possesses a nearly immortal body from the ancient necromantic Sarkaz arts. I don't think I actually fought them in that event because I didn't get that far, but there's a boss enemy called the Immortal who's a Jaden. And it has the highest attack of all Arknights enemies. They are often deployed in the Fohan Hotlands and share a similar role to the Emperor's Blade and Sami Snow Priests. Although, that's interesting because I thought the demons are all dead down there, but... I guess not, question mark? At least according to the wiki. I don't know where that information comes from. It comes from Walk in Dust. Oh. The Emperor's Blade says, you are not the Sami Snow Priest, and you have nothing to do with the Sargon's eternal army. Those who have the privilege of seeing the sights beyond Terra with their own eyes have always been at the top of their country's academic authority. Who are you? Kaltit says, someone who fulfilled her duty. So... W8 After was in the past, although it wasn't that far in the past, but at least well, at some point they were guarding the Fohan Hotlands. Maybe they still are, maybe they aren't, but that's interesting. Okay. So another elite soldier that's out in the world. I guess every country probably has their own, or at least the big ones. Victoria has nothing now. Rip Steam Knights, yeah, true.
We've seen this sort of thing before ourselves, Harold. I know, of course I do. You might kill us, but you won't kill any more. But do we really have to pay this price to get what we want? Our army is a machine consuming an unending amount of fresh meat just so that it can lurch forward once more. Right now, there's just us old boys left. We can't bear the cost of it much longer. You know me, Lisbon. I've always been a bit of a miser, and a miser's heart weeps at every coin lost. As long as we keep building up to the top of my mind, I can hardly sleep soundly at night.
We're soldiers, we've got no choice.
You're right. It's all for Victoria. Send the order down, all men prepare for war. I'll take the lead and I'll bring along my top brass to meet the legendary Black Knight face to face.
Yes, sir. Hey, Harold. I'm not going to stop you now, but I've got to ask, how's it feel having to face down the Black Knight that you like so much in the ring?
Not great. Reminds me of the one time during my youth when I was getting teased at one of the Duke's parties and I ended up drinking an entire cup's worth of straight shots at once. A lot of bitterness, a lot of burning, and a lot of retching. Enough to make you faint, but I'll say that I also feel a bit of excitement.
Harold Kragavan looks towards Yerrig in the snowscape. All about him, frost blanketed the icy surface of Lake Silberneherze. Mist gathered in the air, and in the distance, the statue of Yerrigander loomed, her face fuzzy and indistinct. The chill extending all about her feet made people feel as though they had truly entered the realm of a snow god. The frozen surface of the lake looked as though it was a great shard of rock sugar covered in icing. In this unreal, dreamlike environment, these men wearing their valor on their sleeves stood out like a sore thumb, and across from them, a vague silhouette appeared within the dense fog that lay thick in the air. Their adversary walked toward, step by step, treading atop the ice and snow towards them. It felt like with every step she commanded the strength to stop 1,000 men in her tracks.
This is as far as you go, and you will go no further. If you wish to watch the ceremony, you may watch from here alongside me.
I would truly be honored to have you accompany me, Madame Degenbrecher. But by all rights, I should accept your kind offer, but as a most trusted partner, Her Grace is very concerned about Yerrig's development issues and has given me orders to approach the base of Yerrigander. So, as a show of our good faith.
Concern armed to the teeth and carrying cannons is a very rare sight indeed.
Force of circumstance, I do hope you understand. Lately, there has been a most unlawful force at play, wantonly moving prohibited materials about Yerrig under the guise of constructing the statue of Yerrigander. According to our intelligence, the stronghold of this force happens to be exactly under that holy statue of yours. And so Her Grace was so concerned about this issue that she commissioned me and my men overnight to investigate.
A likely story.
It is, in the end, Her Grace's intent. Who could say if there truly is such dangerous power underneath the feet of Yerrigander's statue? But if the great Santis and Sir and Theodes were to meet with unfortunate accidents, it would be far too late for regrets by then. Nobody would like to see something like that happen, am I right, Madame Degenbrecher?
I don't really care what you say. And naturally, what we do here is none of your business. The people of Yerig will handle their own issues. We don't need outsiders to order us about.
I'm afraid that's that then. I'm truly sorry it came to this, but this is where I must carry out my duty. Also, please excuse my curiosity, Madam Degenbrecker, but considering you managed to hold your tongue so well while I jabbered on, you don't plan on causing delay for us, do you?
You talk far too much.
Well, when you're at my age, it's hard not to be a little bit of a windbag. But as for you, Madam Degenbrecker, as I've now learned, you're not the sort of person to indulge in mindless chatter.
Oh, snap.
That's why I hate overly That's why I hate overly chatty smart asses. The woman says no more, slowly unsheathing her long swordbreaker from about her waist. The scraping of the metal lets out an ear-piercing shriek, ending with the sound of it burying its point into the ice, a sound that induces a trembling in the men that none are able to stemmy. Since they got the intended message, there is not much more need for words. This manner is more to my tastes. I'll say it again. You will go no further. None may enter.
Sick.
What blocks the way, I will burn through.
You're all dead! Can your eyes keep up? Any instructions feels sad to lose your target, doesn't it?
This is a fun remix thing happening. What do we want to do with? You should heal, but I'd rather... Yeah, we'll use him. Perfect.
Concentrate.
Tail like a shooting star. That's what they say.
It is your tyrannies that fuel.
Ow. Harold! Aren't you a medic? A visitor from Victoria who witnessed the rise and fall of Victoria and who will shape Yerik's future with his own hands. I guess that makes sense. That would be Harold, but still kind of surprising.
With all of you behind you, I'll heal you.
Any instruction, come on! Let's pick up the pace!
How did that tower get deactivated? That was weird.
Where do you wish to put your lives? Now, ignite.
Pass on your last words? No.
Worth it.
In position, drawing a bead on the target.
Harold,
But this will keep
what are you doing? I think he's buffing people, but I don't know what it
within the
does.
designated location.
Also, quick deploys are not great on this map since they get frozen if they're out of range of healers.
Feels fresh every feels sad to lose your target, doesn't it?
But you saw nothing.
I see. Harold has an ability
Moving to
that's
designated
reducing,
location.
or that's turning the furnace off. It looks like.
Roger, Wilco. Don't come in
Oh, he just
close.
turned all of them off. Hey, that's cool. I don't know how we're gonna get this one. We can use, okay, we can use her. What's a better spot? There? Up there. Probably here, yeah.
Good timing. Stay calm and pin me to your shadow.
You saw nothing.
Harold's strong enough to have a phase 2? What a guy.
Need speed to succeed.
In position. Requesting permission. Here's if you both do it!
Fear not the firelight.
Bad luck. You ran into me.
Ow.
Support incoming.
Need speed to succeed.
Feel like a shooting star. That's what they say.
Ow. Ow, what the? Guys?
Freeze! Hands in the air.
Ow.
Pass on your last words? No.
Feels fresh and feels bad to lose your target, doesn't it?
He's got invulnerability at half health.
Need speed to succeed.
What is this? Ow. Harold, you need to stop throwing snowballs at me.
Feels fresh every time when someone gives me orders.
It's not fair.
This is no arena. No stuff and improv. From us. I listen to this passing silence.
All my healers died, which was really unfortunate.
With all of you behind me, I won't take a single step back.
Gosh, why did he hit so hard? You're a tank. You're supposed to tank.
Good beat cup. I'll hear your motive after.
Alright, we're not winning this. If Harold's so powerful, why is he only a medic? What is this?
Mission accomplished.
Actually, I should have. Well, whatever. We'll do it after the story. Yeah, I totally beat him. Yeah. Gah! Watch out!
Next.
Well, so, like, does this confirm that Dagenbrecker's stronger than Jaden's Snow Priests, Pegasus Ice Knight, or not Ice Knights, just Pegasus Silverlands Knights, whoever, the Royal Court of Sarkaz? Reporting in, sir. With Colonel Harold's support, we brought all of our current casualties back to safety. However, as things stand for us, we still don't have a way to strike the enemy where it hurts.
Charge! Make use of your arms. The enemy is one soldier. Surround her.
But, sir, wouldn't it be better for us to divert around her? She's an army of one. She's got no hope of holding us off if we just widen the front.
You gormless idiot. Was that meant to be a revelation to me?
Well, then why?
They didn't give you eyes in your head for nothing. You saw that our men of Yarrigander's doorstep are tempting, didn't you? All of them are as smart as you. I'll have to break the perimeter from somewhere else. Compare that to the rest. Are they in as near as a bad state?
Sir, you're not telling me.
Private, I don't know what the hell I could be telling you. Duck!
Yeah.
My hand slipped. Done gossiping.
When in the hell did you get here?
Just now. If you were counting on a few dozen men there to stop me, then you really weren't ready for me.
Heh, monster incarnate. A few dozen won't do the trick, then surely a few hundred will. How about over 1,000? You'll learn. In the face of a real army, there is no army of one.
Clench your teeth.
What?
Keep your mouth shut when I hit you. You don't want to bite your tongue.
A bitter slice of wind whistles through. One against 2,000 should be the pinnacle of despair. Her golden eyes tell of no such qualms, stern and still and steady. She is the predator without dispute. She is the ruler over this battlefield. Slight the affairs of one Miss Dagenbrecker dare to even begin to scorn her, and you too are an affront to her. You'd best hope your own life meant as little to you.
Steady now, Madam Dagenbrecker. If my subordinates have cocked up talks with you, then it falls to me to apologize in their stead.
Oh, you. And how long can you shield them for?
Well, as much as I suggest, until I die a soldier's death. Ugh. I'm no match for your namesake. Clearly I've got the horns to lock with you in a fight. Do you recall, Madam Degenbrecker, when I asked after your name? I no longer see any time like the present. Might I be elucidated?
You have the guts to stall with me.
Two of a mind can spare a word in no man's land. It is done, you know. It's the done thing.
I barely even remember my real name. You can pretend I never had one. Plenty of people in Itanian's ruined streets without a name or a home.
I'd heard tell of your Italian birth, but never had I known that you to be your life story. I once heard in the dailies how you pilgrimaged home there. Adulation of the masses, dinners of the upper crust.
Throw a trophy at a burdenbeast and watch them love it too. They don't tell the difference. Don't let it fool you. It's not a place where names change anything. No one's going to ask when you were down in the gutter with the waste water.
Yet now you've a name with such power.
Power. Not exactly. It was a sunny day. A gendarmerie patrol rounded up anyone with no place to go on the corner. One of them was carrying a strange weapon I'd never seen before. No point, no edge. No fine combat technique. No deep method to it. No simpler way to bludgeon. No part has anything to mention. I watched as he took that thing to anybody who tried to resist, and caved in their skulls. From that moment on, it's been clear to me what I have. Not a code, or a creed, or a technique. Nothing that sounds nice out loud. It's violence. So that day, I named myself. I am what I wield.
Well, you know, there's a Minoan school of thought where they hold violence and victory as sisters. The two are inseparably close. They make one another. A look at you, I could be convinced. Madam Degenbrecker, if you're violence in the flesh like you say, then who exactly is your victory dedicated to? And finally, one last little quibble from me. Though I do think it might not be worth much in the asking. That gendarmerie who first enlightened you. Was victory a sister to him too?
I did like his Degenbreckers. Good to use, but broke too fast. Just like you, Kragavan. Your arm's almost gone.
Hush, hush, Madam Degenbrecker. Spare me from the truth. I do happen to command my own regiment, and a little dignity, if you please. Where the clock turned back 30, no, just 20 years. I'd only be too glad your opponent. But as it stands, and though I hate to admit it, the reality's all too obvious. I'm one of the old ones now.
You don't look it.
Ha ha, you think so too? When I take it back, see, I've been telling my mind's as sharp as ever. It's just this blasted prosthetic leg. The socket always stings on rainy days.
Let's talk. How long until you give?
How long until I give is hardly important. What matters is, Madam Degenbrecker, how long until you give?
You can try me and see. Now both sides have made their move. It seems Degenbrecher can still bear out for the moment. Harold is saving his strength, and his bombers and casters are all but smelling the roses. Your wine may not have been wasted after all in CODs. What about Weiss and Matterhorn? I've sent a team of Stegete to find them. Given what reports have returned so far, the two were likely taken by surprise. Viscount Craig Vaughan wouldn't place them in mortal danger. That takes senility, and he has none. We can only hope. Our people are en route to the station to stand by. They'll send us word immediately once they intercept. May it be our guest arrives on time. One of the merchants that just contacted you. They won't be too daring for now. Gnosis, pass word on to the Saintess for me.
You can save that step. I'm right here. If you have something to say it to me in person, Sir and CODs.
Saintess, the Silver Ashes are disgraced to have allowed such a spiral of events on ceremony grounds. Once the ceremony is over, I will personally take myself to the Vinebear Court to apologize to you, Saintess. But for now, I fear the ceremony will need to be postponed for another while.
As it should. Your message is loud and clear, Sir and CODs. If there is anything I can do, I ask you to continue to come to me directly, and not exploit that my own conscience might force me to see you first.
Saintess, praise thy benevolence. But you and the court devotees must be prudent right now. After you resume this ceremony yourself, Saintess, they will suffice to appease the people. Degenbrecher's strength needs no introduction. A promise from her is exceedingly rare, and in the event she makes one, it's never broken. I think we should give her our full confidence.
Is your confidence that Degenbrecher can fight against 1,000, or that she has the disregard to die valiantly, in perfect service to your schemes?
Degenbrecher is ahead confronting the Victorians, and I know her mentality. She holds that, her own reputation aside, the slate with Yerig can be wiped clean should anything go wrong.
Wait. Did she tell you this herself?
She defends Yerig's dignity as one of her plain, ordinary citizens. Saintess, do you believe that I bluntly ordered her, provoked her? Even I might say she's changed some. Thus, I entrusted her this once. I've gambled on her. Had I not, you might have watched that affable Viscount lose his life to a few panicked tourists. We gamble for a best-case scenario.
Campbell.
I have always considered the success or failure of anything to hinge on one's own grasp, and not entreaties to gods. Nothing goes unaccounted for. I put all the chips down. I see it through, win or lose. I've never complained about it. But...
Sir and CODs, unclasp your hands. You've bruised yourself.
I ask you pray for Degenbrecher, Great Saintess.
Weiss! Wake up! Weiss!
Yeah. Matterhorn. Where am I? Shit. The Victorians have changed it up. Their goal can't be that simple. We have to contact Master.
Ugh. Stay still, Weiss. If they even manage to subdue and lock up both you and me, then our squad's people can't have escaped either. I've tried, but brute strength alone isn't going to free us. It's light outside. It looks like it's day already.
Yeah, where are the Victorians?
All gone. Unfortunately, they've probably swarmed the ceremonial grounds.
Matterhorn, help me out here.
What do you need?
I hit a razor in my shoe's upper. If you can just take it out, Matterhorn, and toss me it.
Don't be insane. What are you using that razor for, in your position? Do you not value your hands?
I have to try. The Master gave me this mission, and I couldn't complete it. And if that's forced him into a passive situation, then in any case, even if I'm too late and he doesn't need it, I'm still going to redeem what isn't lost. I have to make up for my disappointment.
Well, I suppose you're right. Matterhorn heaves his body around,
laying his fingers over the curve of Weiss's boot. But what follows betrays Weiss's hopes. He doesn't toss the razor over, but instead pinches the paper-thin tool of murder between his fingers and with great effort strains and slashes at the rope over Weiss's wrists. In its tenuous grip, the blade slips down between his fingers and cuts into their pulp. Vivid red blood trickles down his wrist. Matterhorn! Your hand!
I'll be fine, it's just a scratch. You're going to do the same, weren't you? You do have a point, Weiss. The Master's expecting us. We can't leave him waiting too long. Just give me one moment and I'll get this rope cut.
Matterhorn.
Good time zone, Rosie.
Welcome in.
Who's there?
I'm not your enemy. Sorry, you two were having a moment, weren't you?
Monk? Didn't you leave Yurig?
About that, well, I'll explain it full later.
How's the event? Pretty fun, pretty fun. The boss certainly put up a fight. We're gonna have to redo it. For an old man who's apparently only a medic, he sure can fight.
Madame Cirrus sent me out to scout. That's how I found you all tied up in this Victorian camp.
Where are the others?
I already set them free. Anyway, both of you get going. The Victorians kicked off battle at Lake Silberneherze. We need to be there as soon as we can.
Damn it! She can't hold for long. As if I can sit here and look on.
You get back here, Arctos. If you seriously think you have the monopoly on righteous anger, Arctos, we wish we could step in. If your eyes are shot, then try using your brain. You definitely... your acting will definitely ruin... Your acting will definitively even ruin things. Thanks for the sub.
Stop stooping behind others, so I can feel sorry for myself runs counter to the Pale Roche clan's blood. I can't bear to see this.
Bear to see it, you baby. Someone here is having a harder time watching than you, I guarantee.
10 years that Degenbrecher's lived in Yerrig, hasn't she? Just to be some sacrificial pawn here. If today Enceodes can't settle all this, then no amount of achievement, no spoil for Yerrig, could ever convince me to lend him an ear again. I'm far too grand an actor the rest of you would be. I can't be as calm as any of you are.
And it's still too little too late for that. All you and I can do now is believe in her. I won't be arranging treatment for your wounded hands, then. Remember to hide it with gloves then when the time comes. Also, I imagine the Stegate, I'll say that once correctly, eventually, report aligns with your gut. We can't count on Dregenbecker to last much longer. She's no longer evading. She's acting how she used to in her Kazimierz competition days. Only afterwards. Afterwards, as she fled the assassin with you, she amended that habit. Any lack of care on her at this point, and you'd die sooner than she did. Quite. Still no word from your end? None. My investigators have already returned. They're sure your guests boarded the train in question to Lake Silberneherze. If anything, it should have arrived just as the ceremony wound down. As it is, it'll take some time until the train arrives. I see. Gnosis, I never feared any wager. Every step that I take, that I have ever taken, I've staked it all. This time is no different. I know. I believe myself to be sufficiently prepared. And yet, I find my patience is made of horror stuff. Thank you for telling me what's on your mind. And I know what you want to hear me say, so I'll say it to you. If you want to ensure the Black Knight's life, or you don't believe she can last until the end, then give the order now. I can tell you there are still odds of success. The archers and casters at our call are best of the best. Blow up the lake's surface, create confusion, and draw the civilians and soldiers into the midwinter's icy pocket. In CODs, the decision lies with you. Whatever you do, I'll support it. But whatever you do, you carry the consequences in hand. Those consequences are no simple political game. You might fail to even bear them. That I can determine for you. One quick question. If it were you, then the Great Winter Swim would already be in full swing. Huh. Let's trust in Degenbrecher. Trust she won't fall. Why civilians? I guess they're on the ice still, so they would just be... What's the word? Well, they'd just get in the crossfire. At some unknown point, the first wound appears on her body. It lies about her shoulder, a slash over her suit, an imperceptible trace of blood drawn. Compared to the kinds of wounds she's used to, this one's worth no mention. Degenbrecher fells the few soldiers about her. I guess fells is correct. Ironically, the subtle sting only sharpens the heady mix of fear her eyes strike into you.
and makes her movements that much more steely cold. The second wound is brought on by Oranginium Arts. An average caster means nothing to Deckenbrecker, but the numbers advantage mutates the nature of the Oranginium Arts efficacy. The casters among the troops cast behind their human wall. Ice, fire, and thunder burst forth in unison with staggering momentum. Deckenbrecker flings her weapons, running one of the caster's soldiers clean through, while she stubbornly approaches through the full length of their art's range and plows straight into the soldier's midst. That puts an end to that display. The third wound comes as the artilleryman aims a third ballista volley at her. An opponent armed to the teeth is no fear of Deckenbrecker's, but with limbs less than free and ballistae pestering her in spades, it does get a little annoying to cope. A shell slips through and lands a scorch mark on her abdomen. Her skin is seared in an instant. But hardly any blood comes. That's good, all things considered. Deckenbrecker is under no impression she'll lose. She's just not too sure she has enough blood to last much longer. The fourth wound, the fifth. She loses track. Counting them is a pain. It's not enough. Again.
Lisbon. Charles, withdraw Lisbon to the rear. You staunch his bleeding. I'll be right there with first aid.
Cough. She's giving out. Now's our chance. Charge.
Huh. As long as I can still move a finger.
Yeah.
I can handle any of you.
Madam Deckenbrecker, surely you're reaching your limits too. If you really meant to fight us out and out, you wouldn't have drawn out this situation in the first place. Fight like this any longer, and I fear death will come for somebody.
Isn't that exactly the kind of war you Victorians make an art of starting? The only difference here is your opponent is me alone. Harold, you're a and I am your enemy.
Keenly put, Madam Deckenbrecker. But I do believe for a second that you're blind to it, or don't believe even. Carlin Trade's private operations were fettered out by the Trilby Ashes, and I don't think the Duke will rest on his laurels about it.
That isn't Ciodis' problem.
This is the very last chance. They're leaving Master and Ciodis. He need only bend an ear to the Duke. He need only part with the sliver of a cake. Be it just 30% of what we proposed, I can still take that back to the Duke and try for heaven's sake. This was never even a war you needed to win.
How stupid. Who do you think who do you say that as? You're window dressing, you're a tourist, you're a burdenbeast vet. Have you been at leisure for so long, you've begun to believe your own lies? No. You've never forgotten who you are. You hate war, absolutely. You abandoned what real power was in your hands. You took what men of yours sympathized. You left the maelstrom far behind, and you fled to Yerrig. To a land where you thought war could never really happen. But you were still a Victorian inside. No. It wasn't even something you had to remind yourself.
You might say that. I am a Victorian soldier, madam. That much is ordained, and I might loathe it, but I might flee it. But I could never sully Victoria's interests.
Good. I'm the same. Is she the same as this Victorian? They don't seem very identical. She's Latanian-born, Kazimierz raised, and only then came to Yerig. They don't need to know her name. All they know is she was born to fight solo, a victor of the night competitions, the only one to ever win 3 years running. Turn the clock forward, or further back, and she's a freak, cutting off the Orangenium arts, a pariah in Latanian. Gaining and losing any of these things is dead simple. They bore her to death. But now, what she has isn't so easily lost, and she has no plans to lose them. Now they are the same. This dull chat ends here.
I feel all too sorry for you, Madam Degenbrecker. Oh, would that we hadn't come to this point. But if you wish, then I choose to respect it. I must stress at this closing hour that I am, through and through, your fan. The show you made is besting each opponent dazzled like none other. For this and this alone I ask you to believe. I cannot be lied.
Ha. Noted.
It's my honor.
Riddled with scars, she raises her Degenbreckers once more. Just as she did in her first appearance before them all, Degenbrecker's point stabs into the ice. The mist, constant over Lake Silberneherze, parts. A subdued, gargantuan rumble sinks in her enemy's stomachs. Kick, kick. There comes the fine sound of cracking, and it's deafening. Time to end this.
Order all units! Stop her breaking the ice, regroup ASAP, and put down the Black Knight of Kazimierz!
Nothing. It's not here. And it's not here either. Well, that just leaves...
Excuse me, sir, the train is speeding up. If you must wander, please watch your step. Alright, you haven't received your complimentary gift yet, have you? Can I ask what you'd like? A compensation for your journey's delay. Your purchase is completely free this time.
No need.
But sir, it's a free gift.
Then I give this gift to you, madam.
But that's not...
Take it. Now, excuse me, if I could pass through.
Alright.
Thank you.
Ah. Oh. What in the land? My legs are a little wobbly.
What happened? Now, only the last cabin remains. After all this time, running around, I'm ragged. I could retire, not when Londinium's still refinding its footing. Her Grace would never let me. What will I find behind this door? Their Yerig defense, hidden until this very moment. Buried deeper than even their covert transport routes. Whatever it is, it's a shame. It's a shame Silver Ash will never get to meet his. Poison or a bag of rocks? Oh my gosh. Is that Big Mouth Mob?
Huh? What's up, Panisco? Sorry, we've got no seats left in our cabin. I think you want to try someplace else. I don't remember what voice Big Mouth Mob had. He's in a suit, though. He's calmed down. He's not showing up for the audience, so he's got a different voice. It's his real voice, right? Not his stage voice, clearly. Actually, I can just leave. Did you need something, Panisco? I love all these train room scenes. They're very funny. I'm not kidding, we're all in here. Or we're full in here. I mean, you can see, we're bumping shoulders, just trying to look around. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We can absolutely just leave and find my own seat. I'm not kidding either. You guys seriously don't gotta sit in that cab with me. Don't be like that, Mr. Spokesman. You and us, we're invited together, aren't we? It was all one letter. At this cabin, perfect amount of room for all of us to sit. They look after you on the way, too. And with us around, the safety problem is no problem. Safety's not my problem here. Yeah, no. I don't think it's perfect. Is the thing, you guys get to sit on the benches and I have to dump my butt on the table. Apologies, excuse me. I see. I understand. I must be dreaming. Kajimir's campaign knights and a CGCC representative spokesman sat in the same private cabin of a railway car. So this is the defense Silver Ash plays. How bold, how well, and truly typical of the clan head style. Your Grace, I can't say it was for a lack of trying. But while duty might call me to fight a gaggle of campaign knights at once, I think it's a little out of question. More than a little. I guess your job's not easy either. Hey, it's Sharp. Stay calm. Just passing through. That uniform. This is quite the surprise party. What is a Rhodes Islander doing here? You'll have to ask my boss. A2 caster's lackey? I don't even know. How does that make sense? Oh, I guess A2 is like and you, right? So I guess that does make sense, actually. Any questions, Mr. Bellingham? I don't know what that reference is. A2, I guess. Quite the shocker indeed. I wasn't expecting you in the flesh. But the funny thing is, weren't Rhodes Island and Yerrig only meant to be business partners? Yes, if there's one thing I can trust, it's my memory. Rhodes Island, you... Yeesh, doctor, a little help here. Mulesy! What a random mix of characters in this event. Sap. Our stop's coming up. We gotta get the tech packed, Doc. Who are you guys?
Doctor, maybe we ought to bug the conductor to go a little faster. Hey, it's you.
I remember Mulesey's voice. Don't worry about that. Rhodes Island and Columbia's Rhine Lab. Well, well, well. I see it's no coincidence you're all here then.
Oh geez, I guess someone knows me already. Doc, Mr. Sharp, Little Bomb, aren't you gonna introduce this Hatsy guy to me here?
Leto Bomb? I don't see. I knew inviting the doctor and co was part of the plan. That's what I figured Cirrus was waiting for. But are the campaign knights actually part of the plan? Or are they just coincidentally here? If they are, then I would assume that perhaps the plan is to invite a bunch of third parties to put eyes on the invasion, and that would like, oh, we can't invade a country when a bunch of other people are watching, right? That wouldn't look good on the international level.
Yar, I'd like to know, would Yaragander bless the woman waging such a bloody waging such a bloody battle for this statue? Though she is born from other lands, though in Yaragander, she has oh so little faith. That's an easy question, Saintus. The term Yareg simply means one who lives there, who adores this land, and who finds home in its nation. It's no matter whether Yaragander recognizes it. If a person identifies with it from the bottom of their heart, well, who can deny that?
Sir Bellingham was the one Siege met. Yeah, I figured it was another Trilby Asher we met in the past. But I wasn't 100% sure, so I was like, I guess I'll do the first one. Is this the same one guy? Or are we just calling him Sir Bellingham? How would we even know that, though we weren't there? Unless it's the one we met at the hotel. I don't know. As far as we know, there's only one Trilby Asher, really. They're all the same person.
Yes. No one can deny that. Not even she herself. She is Yerrig. She already was. Yar, come with me to meet our visitors. Our Victorian guests have come to partake in the ceremony. As Saintus, I have to make an adequate response. At the very least, I can't go without saying hello. I'd like to stress the danger of this, but very well, Saintus.
Matriarch, Cirrus is back.
Yeah, she is. Some nerve being wait, no. I told her to keep out of this. Why did she come here? Who's saying I can't come? And I didn't just come, I brought some special guests with me too. Is this let's bring guest timing to you? You make a language out of it. You make a language out of inane, you silly sister. I'm not being silly.
Indeed, Madame Cirrus's hand is deft and wise. I find her admirable. Ratados, you do well to finally raise your opinion of her.
What the hell is this, Enciodes? Madam Cirrus, the guests have arrived. Safely. Good, bring them all in. I'm out.
Master, your guests are here already.
You're who? These are my guests I invited.
You're Madam Cirrus of the Browntail clan? Very pleased you invited us to take part in the ceremony.
Cirrus, is this your pleasant surprise? Duh. Let me introduce you all. We have here our campaign knights from the Adeptus Spradiovili Kazimierz, here to celebrate the erection of our statue of Yeragander. I sent an invitation especially to the Adeptus. That was not an easy invitation to make. So they're my guests.
Just a coincidence, Madam Cirrus. I cannot laud you enough that you were able to invite a campaign knight. My guest of honor, meanwhile, would be this fellow. Welcome, Sir Spokesperson of the General Chamber of Commerce.
So they both invited Kazimierz people separately? Okay. Spokesperson mob.
Yeah, hello to you. I'm taking it you're Mr. Silverash. Good to meet ya. Good to meet ya. Hello for my company. Thank you all for the effort in inviting me out to Yerrig. The scenery here in Yerrig, supremely beautiful. I believe your company and mine will absolutely end the day here with a partnership we both love. Oh, and don't mind me, but I gotta say, I think I saw some mad fight out on the frozen lake the whole way here. The kind of familiar too, like one guy, I mean, those combat moves, they ring bells in my head. No, sorry, excuse me for I'm talking too much. It's a holdover from my old job. Well, right, I'll be careful not to say too much. It doesn't work towards us working together.
No, Mr. Mob. I'm in need of your exact talent right now.
Come again? You need...
Yes. Right now, this very moment. Please come with me. I'll have them cast sound amplification arts. May I ask you to loudly proclaim that Carlin Trade and the corporations of the Kazimierz General Chamber of Commerce are about to sign an agreement. To Kazimierz, Yerrig will become a trusty partner.
Yeah, that's pretty smart. Make Caster worried about having to fight Kazimierz as well. What's that noise? It's not anyone splashing into the ice water, and it's not cries for help. It sounds like someone loudly saying something and then pulling the people all about her stumble in disarray. That loud voice, but whatever it's saying, she can't tell clearly. Her field of view narrows and dims by a fraction more. The sounds almost turn to fuzz in her ears. She can't feel her own limbs anymore, but she can be sure she still has a grip on her old companions, her Degenbreckers. Because she knows her body is still acting on reflex, striking down every person that comes near. It's just too loud. Too loud. How can someone talk this noisily? Why has the crowd gone? Did someone breach her line of defense already? No. The wild beast's dulling eyes of gold suddenly flare a light, and as long as she can stand, she will allow absolutely no one to pass. Although they got here really quick. I wonder how, like, Kazimierz is technically neighboring Yerrig, but I wonder how far away it actually is. Did they actually get here within a day? Almost less than a day, really. Or did Silverash already plan for them to come here a while ago?
Brecker! Madam Degenbrecker! Stop fighting! You've lost too much blood, Madam Degenbrecker. Come to your senses a little. Keep flailing at this rate and you'll sink us both into the lake.
We're not fighting.
No more fighting, no more. Goodness, however much the Duke wants to slap Yerg in the face, we can't be showing Kajimas the hand in the process. At least not now. Kept between Victoria and Yerg, one might still call it the Duke's personal Silver Ash grievances. But the moment you bring Kajimash into it, things become far, far less simple. Are the gourmands of Kajimash already inviting Colin Trey to the table, with such distance between them and in such short order? What a talented young individual. And I know the Duke won't reproach me for deciding to stay my hand. Spiffing excuse. A good half my men you battered into the lake, Madam Degenbrecker. It was a backbreaker to scoop them all out. If we kept going like that, I'd need another pair of arms to treat you all. I say you need them as is. I take no criticism from anyone still hacking up blood.
We're done?
Well and truly done.
Okay. And Codes pulled it off. She did what she needed to. That's all Degenbrecker hears.
Now, madam, stop right there. The lives we live, they always tend to be out of our hands. I wanted to retire eons ago myself, but I have to keep my own men and my all too often down and out brothers in mind. With this, I finally ought to be my... finally ought to be my turn for once, And in the light of the fact your faithful Sven beaten black and blue, well, could you give me your autograph?
You're still in the mood for that. This card.
Do tell.
The first time I won the major, they wouldn't leave me alone until I agreed to a photo shoot. After that, I never agreed to another one. They were too boring for me.
I see. No wonder the Black Knights trumps always come in those same poses, edition after edition.
Degenbrecker accepts the pen Harold holds out to her and writes her name, Degenbrecker. Take it. You'd better not have anything else for me to sign.
Madam, where are you going? Do you need some quick treatment? My first aid's excellent, you know.
Degenbrecker lifts her head to look at the dawn. In the distance, two figures walk, approaching her. She still can't make them out, but she knows who they are. It's like Yergander on high is gazing down on her, someplace as high as the sun. No need. I'm going back. There's people waiting for me.
Even the most uninspiring poetry may contain a few lines that tug at our hearts. Despite the regrettable techniques employed, I can't help but approve of the writer's expression.
Alright, now let's try to beat him. What do you do, Harold? Prioritize targets to the right of emergency heaters. Ah, good to know. Every unlit heater reduces physical damage taken. Good to know. If only they'd tell you these things. Counterpart form, chastising touch. Periodically extinguishes the nearest emergency heater and deals damage to targets and a cross around it. I noticed that one. Pep Talk heals and boosts other enemies. I noticed a buff on them, but I did not know what it did. It heals them and boosts them, whatever boosting means. Okay. Breakthrough form. Attack is greatly increased. Immediately extinguishes heaters in a large area when entering breakthrough form. I figured that's what that aura was, yeah. The Vapor Rain deals damage to all targets after losing a percentage of HP. Performs additional attacks for each unlit emergency heater. Okay, good to know. So, we want to try not have... We want to try and keep all of our heaters lit. But otherwise, I guess we're good. Prioritizes right units right of a heater, so we want our last person to be placed on the furthest left heater. And we want to make it probably someone a little tanky, I guess. Because they're not going to have a healer, most likely. So I guess we just use, like, Zarya? Although Gladia can heal herself and could actually do some damage. I suppose. Maybe that is worth a try in some way. What is the map looking like? That might be interesting. Weight 10, he's a heavy man. When are they gonna let us push around a boss again? Thorns 2. Yeah, but he's probably gonna be attacking too much. Yeah, I think it's physical, right? No, it's ranged arts, okay. And he's weak to defense, so...
I am within my rights to oversee and bring up my own opinion on your command.
Actually, I want to see... Ah, you know what? Yes, that's what I should do. We might have Zarya on backup, but you know what? I can put Mulesi's clone in that spot on the to trigger the leftmost heater. Make it a ranged clone, and we can just spawn a bunch of them to shoot people. I like that idea.
Sunlight's a little spicy. Just let me take 5.
Although healing in that spot will be a little weird, so we probably want to do... I guess instead of silence, we'll bring Jordy.
Don't worry, Doctor. I'll catch up to the others.
Notice an E1 lead on my squad. Yeah, look at her. I waited 4 years for this character to come out, and she's useless to me. But I'm still happy she's here. Alright, we'll try that. I'm willing to build the whole Ursa squad for her. Do you have everyone? I guess I'm only missing Rosa, myself.
All operators must maintain strict discipline.
Everyone except Letta. Womp womp.
You're all dead!
Can your eyes keep up? Feels fresh. Come on, let's pick up the pace.
Easy.
Your lives are mine to protect.
I guess I do need someone in that position. I didn't think about that.
Target, doesn't it?
I guess we can put her there.
Dags att välja vårt byte.
I could keep you quiet.
What do you need of me? Get out of my home!
Our DP's all over the place, but we'll get there.
Serious space.
Oh, I didn't choose like a ranged person I actually want to bring. I guess we'll just make them
Feels fresh. I feel like a
Arcturia,
shooting
which is
star.
kind of weird, but
That's
sure.
what they say.
私も試行遮ったよく必要そうで
Want a candy?
I suppose we'll keep you quiet.
Let animosity be gone at the door. With all of you behind me,
Alright.
I won't take a single step back. Any instructions tail like a shooting star. That's what they say.
We have no room though, which is a shame. So no more Texas or anything.
Roger, Wilco. Any instruction feels bad to lose your target, doesn't it?
Wonder if there's any way to make this more efficient in that regard.
At your disposal. Hang in there.
Nature should not be disturbed.
了解した。騒がしい。
Hiya! Now's not the time for the lows.
feels fresh every time when someone gives me orders. Any instructions? Haha! Losing sight?
Ow. Jerk.
Roger, Robert. What about? Target eliminated.
Ready, I am Dublin.
You used Muinar and still failed? Muinar weaker than a veterinarian confirmed?
Want a candy? Take like water.
Should have brought a stronger range person for these flowing shapes, but it's okay. Ow. Can we turn it on before it cooldown? We can. I don't have to wait for the cooldown. Good to know. Two of them? That's not legal.
Oh, wishes. I beg you, coalesce.
Well, now we're gonna run out. Although we're not gonna use it. Only use the flint for this one. Brace for impact. Yeah, Typhon dying there. What are you gonna do? I have no healer over there. What are you gonna do?
Permission to fire. Oh, wishes. I beg you, coalesce. Any instructions for me?
Where do you wish to clean out the firelight?
We need to get our things back up.
You thought that would knock me out?
Guess we're gonna use her
An
because we don't have anyone else we can use. Ow! Oh my gosh!
Forward.
Jessica!
Sail like a shooting star. That's what they say.
Got bad luck. You ran into me.
We're gonna save that.
Moving to designated location.
What would you like to hear?
Ecstasy, as bright as gold. Take like water.
Ow! What the?
Good timing. Freeze! Hands in the air. 我绝对的听你去杀招。
Ow. Still killed him though. It's not gonna work for auto deploy, but we still killed him.
job's done. Be sure to rest up now.
May peace be everlasting. Final destination. The train has arrived at its final destination, filled with resolution of the past and hope for the future. Is it over? Did we win? Ouch. Good, at least you can still feel your arm. Now get up if you're still alive. Gotta go, have fun. Thanks for watching. Ouch, take it easy, Charles. Enough fooling around. Harold has enough work to do without you adding to it. Get to the lakeside if you can still walk. Patch yourselves up if you can. I need a few volunteers to help me carry the ones that can't get up themselves. I'll come with you, Jefferson. Just say if you don't want that leg of yours anymore, we can have Harold make one for you. God's wounds, I can't believe everyone's still breathing after all that. What a bloody miracle. Could it really be Yarrigander's protection? Isn't it the other way around? 1,000 against 1 and she's still breathing. Maybe it is. Maybe it really is Yarrigander's protection.
It's not. Yarrigander is kind and watchful, but this result is not the result of her power. That no one lost their life is a miracle that we created together. That's what I believe.
You're the saintess of Yerrig. Your words honor us more than we deserve. What are your instructions?
I wouldn't call it instructions per se. Just an invitation to attend the host ceremony banquet, as is the place of the host. After all, aren't you here in Yerrig for the ceremony?
I thought exile would be the best case scenario. We're allowed to participate in the banquet?
Would you rather be here for the banquet, or admit that you're here for a military operation and go to prison? Go on, be my guest.
I like these. Yar and Inna make a great duo. Both of them are so sassy.
Scientist, everything is ready. The banquet can begin at any time. Thank you, Yar. Why thank me? No particular reason. I just wanted to thank you. Yerrig will become a better place, Yar. There will come a day when people from outside will know more than just Carlin trade. See more than just the snow, mountains, and valleys. They will know that there is a country here by the name of Yerrig. A respectable country with its unique culture and customs, where its people live in prosperity. Sounds great. You sure you don't need a little help, Anya? Without that, you wouldn't have any rainbows. Yarrigander's blessing reaches into the heart of because of how precious it is. If we asked Yarrigander for a miracle for every little thing, then what's left is not religion, but reliance. When you start to take something for granted, that's when you stop respecting it. Things are fine the way it is. Let's just hope Yaragander doesn't get angry at me for thinking this way. Ha! Don't worry, Enya. Nothing makes a mother happier than to see her child start to walk on its own 2 feet.
I'm done, Mr. Silverash. This is my first outdoor speech. Are you sure this is going to work? It was perfect, Mr. Mob. Your voice was filled with passion. No one could pick a flaw in it. Even though you declined my offer to have someone magnify your voice with Oranginium Arts, the amplification device that you used performed above and beyond expectations. Is this your company's new product? The amplifier? No, of course not. It's good, but the market for amplifiers is cornered by a few big companies. There's no place for us there. I forget I said anything. I've heard about corporate competition in Kazimierz. You didn't say anything that I didn't know. So what is it that you're using? A gift from a friend I met on the train. They probably thought it was just a toy. Who could have thought that it would come in so handy when Mr. Silverash made that abrupt request? I see. Mr. Mob, Carlin Trade would very much love for our cooperation to extend beyond this one time. I will have someone take you around Yerrig for the next few days, including tours of our mines and factories. Please accept this as a token of my sincerity. I believe Yerrig will not disappoint you.
They stopped. They really stopped. It's like you said, that man in suit opened his mouth, and both sides stopped fighting before long. I thought we were in for a real fight. Didn't Silverash tell you guys to get here quick? But it was all over in an instant. Why did the Victorians and Yerrig stop fighting as soon as he arrived? Because he is a spokesperson for the Kazimierz General Chamber of Commerce. Who? Is that really important? Oh wait, I know. The important thing is that he's here from Kazimierz, isn't it? Victoria wants to bully Yerrig for its own interest, but they have to be careful when it comes to Kazimierz, who's also here for its own interest. I think something like this came up in one of Anna's tests. So is this why Silverash contacted you and Nielses? You're his backup plan.
You're learning, Leto.
No wonder you're in such a hurry. Stuff like this is a pain. But how did you know that the man in suit was a spokesperson for what again? You know him?
We've met. He's changed his appearance, but his voice hasn't changed.
Oh yeah, you and Amia went to Kazimierz for a while. I want to go with Mamochka, if I get the chance. There are a few knights I really like. They're so cool. Oh yeah, Doctor. Did you give him something at the station?
A little toy that Closure made.
Really? Somehow I can't help but think there's more than meets the eye. Oh, and Nielses is chatting with someone. Should we go over? You have people you know here too, don't you, Sharp?
I'm working right now.
The one who invited me is probably a little too busy right now. Taking in the view here isn't such a bad idea. Sure. I'll stay with you.
I don't think that's going to work. There's someone waiting for you here.
For me? Who? Oh, him.
Are you not going?
Well, there really isn't anything I want to say to him. It sucks. Sorry, Doctor. Sharp, give me a minute. I'll be right back soon.
Rosalind!
You've got something to say, spit it out. Otherwise, I've got places to be.
Wait. I wanted to make sure you're safe. I couldn't come find you in the chaos.
I'm fine. The Victorians were looking for me. Even that Ruby Asher guy is no match for Sharp and the Doctor.
That guy's still after you.
That's not his voice.
I don't think so. It didn't look like he was here for me. Well, he's lucky he ran away. Sharp and I would have given him a nice little beating.
Don't underestimate Trilby Asher. I don't like their methods either, but the Trilby Ashes are a big deal.
Him... didn't see him like he was anything special.
That's because Enceodes has Dragonbreaker to keep him down. I warrior must never underestimate an enemy, Rosalind.
Alright, you done then? I gotta go.
Oh, wait.
3, 2...
Oh, Rosalind, I spent a lot of time thinking about last night. I was weak back then. The days with your mother were like honey, and I couldn't keep myself from thinking about her. I couldn't keep myself away from her from the very beginning. I dragged you and Tatiana into that mess, but abandoned you when I couldn't handle the pressure. You were right to yell at me, Rosalind. Whatever I say now won't be enough. Won't be anything more than an excuse. For more than a decade, my memory has tried to justify it. It whitewashes the memories for a man too weak to face his own weaknesses so that he can continue to feel safe, continue to run away. He lied so much, he even fooled himself. It's my fault. I deserve to be scolded and scorned by you. And I can't blame you for being disappointed in me and Yarg. I let you and your mother down. I'm sorry.
There's one thing I want to make clear. Momochka never said anything bad about Yarg. Or about my papa. She even taught me how to pray to Yargander, even though I never really believed in it. Momochka only ever said good things about this place.
Tatiana, she doesn't hate Yarg.
Why would I lie? I told you, didn't I? She said my papa was really handsome. Of course, I'm having doubt about that now.
I think he's pretty handsome.
It was before I started in with the beard. Tatiana did say she liked my face. Oh wait, why did she tell you all of this? Could it be that she doesn't blame me?
Yeah, everyone seems to hate the beard, but I think it looks good. I don't know.
Stop. Don't get too ahead of yourself. I don't count on other people not blaming you. If you know you're wrong. But it's exhausting to live with hatred. You underestimate Momochka if you thought she would spend a decade hating you and Yarg. You're not worth it.
You're right. It's not worth it to live in pain for a man like me. It's all for the better.
Good, you get it. I didn't know who my papa was, and I do now. But that's all there is to it. I don't need recognition from your family. Parosh business is none of my business. I am the daughter of Tatiana Nevgenevna Yarina. I am Rosalind Tatianovna Rarina, codename Leto. Remember that.
It was Tatiana who named you Rosalind Tatianova Rarina. Rose, more smoothly off the tongue than Parosh.
Does it? Does it roll more smoothly off the tongue?
Leto, not bad. Not bad, a nice codename.
At least you have taste. Oh yeah. This is for you.
For those used to the language. Yeah, maybe if you speak Russian, but he doesn't speak Ursus. He speaks Yarrick, so it's a different language.
A bank account.
Child support for all those years. The amount is in the back. I rounded it down for you. Please make the transfer at your earliest convenience.
Child support?
I said it yesterday, didn't I? Living expenses, tuition, medical bills, emotional damages for a deadbeat dad, it's all there. Gotta go!
Wait, Rosalind! The currency conversion might take some time. I'll find someone to take care of it as soon as possible. Rosalind, please can I see Tatiana one more time? Just once.
In your dreams. No. I hope he does. I hope they can just say hi to each other at the very least.
Is this your will too, Yaragander? The matters of the world are beyond a mere mortal's ability to predict.
Master, why are you standing all the way up front? There's nothing to see in particular.
Just passing by. You said you just became a grandfather last time you came to pray, Lucas?
Yes. My son's daughter. A good thing she looks like her mother. That foreign woman my son insisted on marrying. What's the name? Syracusa. Fierce woman, that. Well, at least the kid of mine got to take her. Man, a bunch of people are visiting Yerrig. Kazimiercians, Victorians, Syracusans, Latonians, Colombians. I guess Ursus did in the past, / I guess if you count Leto now.
You are against the marriage?
What's the point if the young ones are in love? I might have said a word or two in my younger days, but now just let them be.
You said you wanted a warding stone for your granddaughter, didn't you?
Hoping that some Yaragander and the Saintess's blessings would rub off, you know?
You can have this.
This mark. It's a stone blessed by the Saintess herself. That's too precious for someone like me, Master.
Take it. Consider it a welcome gift for your granddaughter as she comes into this world. I'll pray for Yaragander that the child of Yarrig can grow up without illness, pain, or sorrow. By Yaragander.
By Yaragander. Huh, okay. So he gave the stone to that random guy instead of to Leto. Interesting.
Ew. That Black Knight is definitely more than just a name. I think she wasn't even trying to kill. A little too much for old bones like mine.
So are your injuries.
Just a scratch. Don't want to miss the Saintess's banquet after all. It's not every day that I get to be called sir by you, though. I think I just lost my appetite for some reason.
My condolences concerning your appetite, my lord. I will report the facts of your performance in Yerrig and the changes in the situation to the Duke.
Suit yourself. I'm confident that I did nothing to displease her grace. What about you, Trilby Asher? The waters of Londinium you could muddle, but Yerrig gives you little room for maneuver.
No need to worry about me, my lord. I have completed the mission assigned to me by her grace.
No.
Yerrig is not worth devoting too much time and effort to, but there are elements that require the Duke's attention.
You mean, we thought it was Carlin trade, or Yerrig's geographical advantages as a natural fortress and commerce hub? Seems like her grace is truly grounded or a visionary. Are you here to visit the true form of Yaragander?
Of course. Her grace wants to know whether Yaragander truly exists in Yerrig. In times of crisis, will Yaragander really help her people?
Interesting. And your conclusion?
I do not recommend that the Duke confront Yerig militarily at this time. Seeing that the Kajimershin corporations are publicly entered into partnership with Carlin Trade, I also ran into Colombian scientists on the way here. Force is not the smart plan. Winning is easy, making money is hard. We're not Ursine. It's not worth it. It's not every day we agree with each other, huh? Did you hit your head or something? Like you, I'm a pacifist. You, just talk like you normally do, please. If it saves some time and effort, my lord. Yes? Are you familiar with this little trinket? A burdenbeast blind box, they're all the rage right now. Why do you buy this? Well, it's not important. Open it up and let's see what's inside. I've got a full set, but I'm missing the limited edition secret version. No one knows what the box holds until it's opened. The mystery is what makes it alluring. Perhaps I shouldn't open it. Well, are you going to open it or not? I'll have it if you're not going to open it. I'll open it. What's this? What did you find? Let me see. Mother of mercy! This is Frozen Crystal Burdenbeast Secret Limited Edition! What kind of luck is that? I've been opening these boxes since the first day I arrived in Yerig, and I've never gotten this one. Yeragander, this is not fair. Chilbyasha, we're both in Her Grace's employ. Do you think we could, I'm afraid not, my lord. I must stay in Yerig for a while longer after submitting my report. Thanks to you, I just realized that collecting Burden Beast accessories isn't such a bad pastime after all. Harold hates them? I don't think anyone likes Chilby Ashers. It's a lonely life to live. Can you stand? Not dead yet. I'll be fine in a few days. Good. Gnosis. He went down first. He says he's footing the bill for tonight. He has lousy taste. Pick for him. Okay. You've been walking around in circles here for ages. You got something to say. Out with it. I'm thinking that my debt to you seems to keep growing, from Kajimershe to here. One that I don't see a way to repay. You're afraid I'd jump ship? It would be a big loss. You want to repay me? Name your price. Gnosis will find a way. Forget it. All I did was follow an arrogant young man to these bleak, frozen hills 10 years ago on a whim. A place where the temperature hovers around freezing on the warmest days. Life here didn't turn out to be so bad, so I started doing what I could. What does any of that have to do with you and Coyotes? I guess you're right. You stayed for the land, not for me. I didn't think I would hear it from your own mouth. I don't put on that act about and don't put on the act about owing me. Tell the truth. What are you thinking? I'm thinking there will come a day when people from the outside will know more than just Carlin Trade, see more than just the snow, mountains, and valleys. They'll remember the name Yerig. Don't get too excited. You may have won this round, but at the end of the day, you've just gotten yourself even more tough customers. Should I thank you for bringing Kajimershe back to me? Coyotes stays silent for a moment, then picks up a broken piece of ice from the ground and points it at the sun. The ice is dauntingly cold, but it glitters under the sun, almost glaringly. Yes, Kajimershe has come, Columbia is coming. Things will only get more complicated. You can't win every time. Have you ever lost? No. That's too bad. You must never have met an opponent like me. Oh? Come with Gnosis to the Shigete training grounds. I'll take both of you on at the same time. One hand tied behind my back. Gnosis is actually not bad with a sword. You're in a good mood. It's all done. 3 years of perseverance have borne fruit at last. We broke things wide open. Castor is no longer an existential threat. The independence of Yerig is no longer a pipe dream. In other words, you've drawn the attention of both arrogant Victorian nobles and unscrupulous Kazimierz merchants, soon to be joined by scientists with no qualms about morals or ethics. Even more people will hate you for bringing even more chaos to this country.
Ryan Lab must be better now, right? I wonder who's like in charge nowadays, actually. Oh, I guess Silence is technically, and she set up the she set up that science board of ethics thing. They must be better. Yeah, most of the old heads are dead, so they must be doing better.
Let them. I don't care. All I care is...
Oh, excuse me. Are you the Black Knight?
Yes.
So it's true, the Black Knight is in Yerig. Wow, it's really the Black Knight. This makes it all worth it. Are you the president of Corlin Trade, aren't you? I've been a fan of the Black Knight since I was 5. Can I get your autograph?
That's up to her. Do you want to sign for these young folks, Degenbrecher? Fine.
The campaign knights eagerly call out to their comrades. A little line forms on the ice. It's like one of the many small fan meet and greets on the streets of Kazimierz. The campaign knights give Degenbrecher their cards, and Degenbrecher writes her name on them. And Codes chats with the knights every now and then, playing the part of a good host. It is all very natural. No one has the slight complaint. Eventually, the knights leave, satisfied, and calm returns to the ice.
The campaign knights, I know, aren't that excitable. Our partnership with Kazimierz has just begun. The Adeptus Spradiavili Kazimierz wouldn't have sent real campaign knights. This is just the Browntails spending their own money to invite some youths over for a sightseeing trip. And it probably took the Black Knight's name to get them to agree. How do you feel? Maybe I'm no different from the Kazimierz that you hated. You're just another chip in my hands. All of it is the same. Be it your identity as the Black Knight, Kazimierz's exploitation of you, your martial strength, or your value as a soldier. Do you find this unacceptable? Now, I've gotten used to it.
Let us once again welcome our friends from far away. The doors of Yerig are always open to those who come in good faith. Let us remember the friendships forged here today. By Yerrigander.
By Yerrigander.
By Yerrigander.
By Yerrigander.
Thank you for the invitation, Saintess. You're Mulces from Rhine Lab. It warms me up to see you still remember me. The mountains and rivers of Yerig that I saw along the way here were awfully pretty. I'm sure we'll have a great partnership. Rhine Lab's partner is Carlin Trade, Miss Mulces. But you're the one calling the shots in Yereg. Building a launch pad on Carlin is a big deal. Mr. Silverash has stressed the need to get DeSanctis' blessing. I have heard of this. I have heard about this from Serenciudes. Carlin is the spine and body of Yeragander. I must say I have the reservations about such a massive project taking place here. Scientist? Sandus? Excuse me. What is it, Yar? That launch pad that they're talking about, it sends things into the sky, right? If they build it here, does that mean that Yeragander will have a few cannons on her body? Cannons? Yar, do you think Yeragander would object? Object? Why? It sounds so cool. You should say yes.
So, what? See, when they first said launch pad, I thought they meant as like the metaphor, like, oh, it's the launch pad towards a new partnership. They're building literal launch pads. Are they turning Yereg into like a space center? Is that what? Are they gonna launch spaceships here? What is happening? Lisburn, what happened? Those wounds?
It's nothing. Freya, I have something important to tell you.
What is it, Lisburn?
I love, snow. I love snow.
I knew it. The knitted words on your clothes look so nice.
The snowy mountains are so beautiful on a fine day like this.
Huh? Oh yeah,
Oh, damn it all. The Burke ran away from that? I should shoot him for desertion.
Keep it down, Jack. Did y'all peep on me like this back in the day when I proposed to my wife? Come on, Harold. This isn't personal. We do this to everyone who proposes.
Is Lisburn really going to propose after a fight like that?
What does he have to lose after a fight like that? She says yes, he gets to bury his bones here. She says no, he gets closure and returns to Victoria. It's going to take him a lot better part of a full year to recover.
You have a point.
You idiots! Why didn't you just call me over to help? Are you going to let your brother propose empty-handed? No ring, fine, but not even a flower?
It's all ice and snow here. Where are you going to find a flower?
Make an ice flower, then. What do you carry your weapons for? Nothing shows sincerity like a handmade stuff. That's what the ladies like, don't you understand? Well, you're in a better position to understand than any of us. Right, Harold? Ice flowers, huh? I'm sure there's someone back home who will be very interested to know. Oh, wait, don't you run your mouth in front of my wife. I've never given an ice flower to any woman other than Lily. It was just an example, really.
I didn't expect to see you here.
It's my job to protect the doctor.
Same old story. Care to spar?
After you've fully recovered. We can do it after hours. I'm still in Yereg then.
Alright. How many people do you have who are better than you? I wouldn't mind making the trip myself, if there are enough of them.
Is that why she joins, just because she wants to go fight people?
You used to commentate the night competitions. No wonder your voice sounded familiar. Maybe I watched a match you were covering.
Well, thanks for the compliment. Not that I have much to write home about other than my voice.
I didn't expect to see the campaign knights here, though.
The ones with the silver armor, they're so cool.
I invited them here. And you too, Rosalind. You're a guest of mine as well. Enjoy the hospitality of Yereg.
I must thank you, Doctor. Thank you for accepting my invitation, and for your little gift to Mr. Mob. It was quite helpful.
You had a plan even without my help, didn't you? Save it. I know you always have a backup plan.
It would have involved more effort. Under the circumstances, I'm plenty thankful to just speed things up by a step. I hope you're happy with our hospitality.
Don't think you can hook me into an invitation next time. Was it you who invited Ryan? I thought Rhodes Island was the extent of your manipulation. Yeah, I'll ask that.
Carlin Trade invited Rhine Lab to discuss cooperation, but I and CODs invited you, Doctor, for the sole purpose of attending the ceremony and nothing more. You can take part of the credit for this festive scene before us. Come, ally. I will be happy to be your guide, if you would like to see what Yereg is like now.
I guess we could do worse than a shore leave. I'll be your guest, so to speak.
One more thing.
Next time, if you want me to bring someone with me, just say it. Are you surprised that she didn't come?
As an ally, I'm sure you understand what I mean.
Clifford is doing fine, it's just that this was on short notice and she happened to be away from Rhodes Island. Your sister is busy with her own business. Send in the invitation earlier next time. She's doing fine though. She'll come back to Vierg next time. She said that she'll give you a surprise. The plural you.
Glad to hear it. It's a shame that she couldn't come on such an important occasion, but if she continues to climb, then whatever peak she reaches, she'll hear the wind of Carlin from the top.
Ratatos, you shouldn't be here now. The absence of the head of one of the three great houses at the Saintus' banquet will draw unnecessary attention. Sirius will take care of things. If there's anyone who shouldn't be here at this time, it's the COT of Carlin Trade. I'm sure that the director of Ryan's lab has many things she wants to discuss with someone in a technical position.
And CODs will take care of her needs. We want Ryan Lab's technology, and they want Carlin's elevated terrain. Fundamentally, this is a business deal. That's more than in CODs' domain.
I guess you're right. I'm thinking that CODs must have had a dozen contingency plans for today's incident. He put up a good act for being worried, though, didn't it? Did it fool you?
That's the kind of person he is. I'm not surprised. But there is one thing that you're off the mark about, Ratatos. This is the rare occasion that he didn't put up an act.
Yes, it's not like him. Not sufficiently profit-driven. Too much risk, yet the best outcome was achieved for everyone. You hear that, Gnosis? It's a sound of metal coming together to form a monster. I've listened to the heavy noise of construction for long enough.
Project 1 is nearing completion, from what I've heard.
You heard right. But for all the effort we committed, even building the Argander statue as a ruse and building the base underneath Lake Silberneherze. For all that time we put in, the effort it took to hide it all. Is it actually a battleship? It is. Wow, I called it. One battleship is all we managed to build. We can't hide it for long, even if Victoria lets go this once. The world will continue to figure out what we're doing.
That's why we don't need to hide it on purpose. Just try not to draw too much attention. I'm sure you realize why Victoria stopped. We must develop as much as we can now, while the powers at work are still in balance. This is the only way out for Yereg.
I hope it all goes well, as you say. Speaking of which, Ratados. Yes? I heard some rumors. Are you really going to call the Project 1 ship the Walnut? Heh. Why not? That silly sister of mine came up with an interesting idea this time. She said that when she has her own kids, she'll tell them that this ship is their older brother. Cute, isn't it? Don't know how it works on... What? Who the heck are you? Is that her mom? Still doesn't, still don't see how a battleship works on the mountain? Well, I mean, Yerig is like a bowl, right? It's like a bowl valley, so it's surrounded by mountains. And you're just gonna drive around the bowl, I guess. I see that Oropathy's not hindering her mother's fashion sense. Rosalind, I'm sorry I couldn't come with you to Yerek this time. You took the box to the top of the mountain, didn't you? Mamochka, you can trust me. You went out again. The doctor told you to stay in bed. Just taking a walk, I'm fine. All this fuss over one broken bone. I'm getting suffocated, stuck in a hospital room all day. That's because you weren't careful when fiddling with that jetpack. It was fun, wasn't it? I want to try again sometime. Do you have a chance to try out rock climbing while you were in Yerik? No, I didn't. You really should next time you have a chance. It's fun. I'll take you on an adventure in Sargon once my legs heal. Sami sounds good too. I'd avoid Sami. I can't wait. Wow. So fabulous looking. She even had a sparkle with her wink there. I didn't expect to see her mom. Interesting. Okay. She'll be an operator one day, maybe. That'd be cool, actually. Mother-daughter duo. Although, you'd have to, like... make her part of this student faction, which would be kind of weird. But... you'd have to, because I feel like they should have some sort of synergy together, right? Anyway, that was a fun little event. I hope we get to spend some time with Nielses, maybe sightseeing together. That'd be nice. You know, because coincidentally, we both happen to be in Yerig at the same time. Right? And yeah, they're building a battleship. So there you go. And they're gonna be launching space rockets, I guess, at some point. Which, good to see that space is not being ignored again. They said it wasn't going to be, but now we know that people are actually, like, preparing to do that. Assuming that's what they were talking about. I was trying to see if there's any update on that.
Yeah, the wiki does say space launch pad specifically. I just wanted to make sure. I guess, like, so they wanted it because of the altitude, but I'm not a rocket scientist or an astrophysicist or whatever is needed to know about how rockets work. But, I guess their rockets are different anyway, because they use like a gun to shoot the rocket. They use like a big cannon thing, like a laser cannon. So I guess, depending on what, maybe, unless they move away from that. Altitude doesn't really matter for rockets because, and in fact, I think most places that launch rockets aren't in the mountains. So I don't think you're supposed to do that. I don't know, but sure. But sure, very fun event. It did get longer though. Rules are different. Yeah, they've got different rocket technology, I guess.
Have you been doing well lately, Doctor?
Technically, they've got different physics to some extent. Related to Leto's mother, the Harold is an operator who's confirmed to have a child, which is cool, and married and with a kid. That's cool. Representation for the older folks, the family folks. Nice to see. And then, where is she? Looking at, I thought about this a while ago, but I was reminded today as well. Seeing Degenbrecher at Cabernet and seeing the other Cabernets in like Latanian event and stuff, I realized they all have goat ears, but Ines doesn't have ears? Question mark. Where's her ears? I don't understand. Did she cut her ears off too? Like, I don't know. Hidden by her hair? I don't think so. Like, her horns go down like over her ears. It looks like. Like where her, like that orange of her horn is like where her ear should be. I feel like I don't know where her ears are. But yeah, I started thinking about that, seeing all these Latanians, and then Degenbrecher reminded me because Degenbrecher has very prominent ears. Like Ines is hiding that she's a Cabernet. She's trying to hide herself as a Sarkaz, so she ground down her horns for that reason. So maybe she cut off her ears as well? Because otherwise that would give away that she's not a Sarkaz. So it makes sense. Yeah, kind of horrifying to think about, but I guess it makes sense. Anyway. We'll be back with the EX missions next week, obviously. Tomorrow we're gonna attempt Honkai again. We need to get that done. We gotta find those books. And the story is important. We'll attempt Honkai again. In fact, fingers crossed, I should be able to get the AC fixed tomorrow before stream. Fingers crossed. So actually, the attempt will be successful of trying Honkai. But other than that, yeah, we'll be back next week for the EX levels. For the YouTube viewers, you can watch that on Twitch, because I only stream the story on YouTube. Sorry. But until then, thank you all for watching, and may the sands of time treat you well.